Hello everyone, Happy New Year, it's 2024, hope your 2023 was okay. I know mine fucking wasn't, but it is what it is. Today I'm going to be telling you my top 10 most anticipated films of 2024. But before we get into that, I'd like to give a few honourable mentions because I believe these films do deserve to at least get brought up. I should explain why they're not on there because it may seem bizarre that they're not. So the first film I want to give a mention to is Mickey 17, which is Bong Joon-ho's directorial follow-up to Parasite, which I believe is a masterpiece of a film and the best film of 2019, which says a lot because 2019 was a really great year for movies. I'd also like to give an honourable mention to The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, maybe? I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. But it's weird that this movie isn't being talked about more. I mean, we are getting a new Lord of the Rings movie and no one is talking about it. Maybe it's because of the fact that it's going to be animated, and I've heard a lot of talk that it's going to be in the Japanese anime style of animation, which isn't for everyone. But I've been on an anime craze recently, so this actually really excites me. The reason why it isn't in the top 10 is because I haven't seen the Lord of the Rings movies in years. I've never really watched the Hobbit movies, so you wouldn't really consider me like the biggest Lord of the Rings fan ever. But, you know, they're movies that I really should rewatch because they are really great. I really love that fantasy world and the characters are memorable. Even though I hadn't seen the movie in years, I remember the characters. But yeah, I am still quite looking forward to it, but we don't really have a lot of details on it. I don't really know what it's about. I'm not too engrossed in Lord of the Rings lore. I just do enjoy those original three movies quite a bit. Alright, last honourable mention is Dune Part 2, and I include this because if I had actually seen the first Dune movie, and I don't mean the David Lynch film, I've seen that piece of shit, I mean the first Denis Villeneuve Dune movie, if I had actually seen that, then this probably would have been in the list, maybe even like top 5, but I just haven't seen that movie yet. I haven't got around to it, which is really bizarre because the director of that movie is like one of my favourite directors. But I'll watch it by the time Dune Part 2 comes out, and I'll probably love it, which means I'll probably watch Dune Part 2 in the cinemas and be really hyped. But yeah, I just haven't seen the first movie, so I can't really get too excited for it. Sorry. But with that off the way, let's get into the top 10. In my number 10 spot, I have The Fall Guy, and there's really only one reason why this is even on the list. Ryan Gosling is the star, and I absolutely adore Ryan Gosling. He is literally me. This is my movie. I was literally on set. I know everything that happens, and let me tell you guys, you're in for a real treat here. But in all seriousness, yeah, there isn't actually that much about this movie that gets me hype. I haven't seen the director's other works, but I've heard Bullet Train is pretty fun. I'm not the biggest fan of modern day action movies, but you know, the trailer did provide some good looking set pieces, I think. I love Ryan Gosling as an actor. Emily Blunt is also in the movie, who I really like. So it's mainly the cast that really carries this. I haven't seen the Fall Guy TV show, but I know my mum has, which I guess makes it a little more exciting. I'll probably end up watching the movie with her, so it'll be a core memory, which adds a little bit to the excitement. But overall, story-wise, it doesn't seem like the most interesting thing ever. But it does look like it can be a lot of fun, and maybe it will be a lot of fun. We'll see. In ninth place, I have Alien Romulus. Now, not gonna lie, before I started researching movies coming out this year, I kind of forgot that Alien Romulus was even happening. But it is on the list because despite the fact that I haven't watched an Alien movie in years and the only ones I have seen are the first two, the idea of a new Alien movie coming out post Fox purchasing by Disney, that kind of interests me. I want to see a new spin on the franchise, you know, with a new studio behind it because, you know, like I said, I haven't seen most of the Alien movies, but I do know that they do get pretty stale at some point. They have a reputation for that. Same with the Terminator franchise. So it's just going to be interesting to see a new movie. I hear that it takes place between the first two. So it's not even like you have to watch any of the other sequels to understand this. So, I don't have to watch like Alien Resurrection and fucking, I don't even know, Alien Covenant or whatever. Even though I think that's a prequel, but I'm yapping away. So yeah, this kind of interests me. I really do love those first two movies. I think they're masterpieces of the sci-fi genre. So yeah, interesting. Also, the director of this movie directed the Evil Dead remake from 2013, which I'd argue is one of the greatest horror remakes of all time. So that gives me some hope for this movie being good. In eighth place, I have Kung Fu Panda 4. Unfortunately, the trailer made me a little less excited than I was before the trailer released, which is the opposite effect that a trailer is supposed to have. But, it didn't really pop out that much. The return of Tai Lung is exciting, even though the trailer seems to show that maybe his screen time will be very limited, but it also does show that he will get at least one fight scene, which is exciting. But I think the main thing about the trailer that did kind of hold this back for me is, for one, it seems that the Furious 5 is absent from this movie, and it made me realize how big of a presence they had in those first three movies and how much better those characters made those movies. I mean, you had a pretty great cast with those characters. I mean, Jackie Chan played the monkey, Seth Rogen played the praying mantis, and Seth Rogen can be pretty funny sometimes in movies. So their absence is going to be felt a lot in this movie if they don't ever show up. Another thing that kind of held this back for me is Awkwafina is looking to be the next Dragon Warrior. And nothing against Awkwafina, I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but I've only seen like one movie where I found her somewhat likable, and that was The Farewell, which is an A24 movie. Everything else, she's just kind of or just flat out annoying. I've seen clips from the Little Mermaid live action movie, and that was enough for me. She is extremely obnoxious in that movie, but hopefully the Kung Fu Panda writers don't just write another really annoying character for her, because I don't know, I think Awkwafina gets a lot of bad luck. She gets a lot of shitty characters in movies, to be honest. But yeah, despite all that, I am pretty excited for the movie. I think the first three films are really solid. Hopefully they don't ruin their good streak of good movies with a stinker. But I have faith. It actually does look pretty decent. The concept of the villain seems fun, and the idea of passing down the torch to a new Dragon Warrior sounds like it could be an interesting send-off to Poe's character, possibly, or maybe they'll give him a sort of new role in the franchise, because apparently they want to make two more after this. In seventh place, I have Deadpool 3. Now, I don't actually think it will be called Deadpool 3. It'll probably be called something like Deadpool and Wolverine, because that will bring in the big numbers, you know what I mean? Like, this could be a $1 billion movie. Like, this could be Marvel's comeback, kind of, because they haven't been doing too great recently. The Marvels is like their biggest flop ever, and this could regain the trust in fans, because this is supposed to be connected to the MCU in some ways, but it's also a celebration of the 20th Century Fox X-Men movies. It's very confusing, but that also makes it very intriguing. I do like some of those Fox X-Men movies. In fact, I would consider Logan to be better than every MCU film, which might be a hot take, I'm not sure. Please let me know what you think of that movie, and if you think it's better than the MCU or whatever. But yeah, the film looks pretty great. We've all seen set photos and videos. Everyone who's interested in the film has seen the leaks, and it's all very exciting. Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine in the yellow suit, looking great. I know some people have complained about him having sleeves, but who the fuck gives a shit? I think the costume looks beautiful. And I do like those first two Deadpool films quite a bit. So, as a sequel to those films, it's also pretty exciting because it's been a while since we've had a Deadpool movie. The last one was in like 2018, and wow, that's like 6 years. Doesn't time fly? In sixth place, I have the upcoming Wallace and Gromit feature film coming to Netflix. It has been a while since we've had any kind of Wallace and Gromit film. We had the feature film from 2005, and I'm pretty sure a year later, in 2006, we got a new short film. And that's really the last time we've seen them to a notable extent. So it's pretty exciting to see those two great characters again together. I'm not too sure what the story is, but I heard something about a gnome, like an artificial intelligent robotic gnome, and everything just sort of goes crazy with it, and that's basically the concept, which is good enough for me. It sounds like Wallace and Gromit material. It sounds like traditional Wallace and Gromit, and that's what I want to see because I've been missing these guys. I really want to see them again. Aardman's latest film, Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget, wasn't great. It was okay, but I wanted it to be better. But hopefully this film will be an improvement over Aardman's last collaboration with Netflix. In fifth place, I have Jordan Peele's fourth film. Now, there's not really much to say about this since all we know is that Jordan Peele is bringing out a new film this year. That's literally all the details we have. But that's enough for me to get excited for it because Jordan Peele has proven that he knows how to make a good movie. Although I haven't seen Us yet. Guess Out and Nope are great movies. So, yeah, really looking forward to this film. I have a lot of faith in Jordan Peele. I just hope I just hope for the best. It also comes out on Christmas, I believe, which is interesting. I don't think he's done that with any of his previous films. I also assume it's going to be a horror type film, so releasing it around the Holly Jolly season seems a bit random, but I'm going to let him cook. In fourth place, I have Ballerina. It's a very similar situation to The Fall Guy. It is mainly on here because of the cast. The cast is carrying this movie. But the reason why this is so high and Fall Guy was at the bottom of the list is because this is connected to the John Wick franchise, which is a really great movie franchise. I haven't seen the fourth film yet, but the first three films as a set of fun action movies, they deliver. They definitely deliver. There's a lot of fun to be had with those movies, and Keanu Reeves, although I don't consider him an amazing actor, is pretty great in the role of John Wick. So the main star of this film is Ana de Armas, and I really like her as an actress, and just as a woman in general, I really respect her. One day my wife. But unfortunately, if you look at the movies she's been in for the past couple of years, it's mostly just dog shit movies. As you know from my 2022 movie ranking video, I did not like the movie Blonde at all. I haven't even seen Ghosted, but it is known as like the worst movie of 2023 by many people. And it definitely looks like that, to be honest, from what I've seen. The Grey Man was pretty disappointing. So hopefully this can be like her comeback because I want to get back to seeing Knives Out and Blade Runner 2049 levels of great roles from her because she is a good actress, but some filmmakers seem to think that just showing her boobies is enough to satisfy the audience. And, that probably works for some people, but I like her as an actress. I think she's got a lot of talent. I think her performance in Blonde was good. It's just that almost everything else in the movie was disgraceful. In third place, I have Francis Ford Coppola's new film, Megalopolis. Now, this movie wrapped filming in 2020, so it's like completely done. It's just been sitting around for 4 years for some reason. I don't know if they've been having issues with editing or something, but yeah, this movie's been wrapped up for a while, and it seems like they're finally going to release it this year. Now, Francis Ford Coppola isn't the most consistent director ever, but some of his films are known to be some of the best ever. Like, you've got The Godfather, Godfather 2, Apocalypse Now, just some really great movies, but he hasn't actually released a feature film since 2011, so this will be his first film in 13 years. And this is supposed to be like the Francis Ford Coppola movie. This is a huge passion project for him. He started writing it in the 1980s, so he's been working on it for a long time. So I can't see how this movie could possibly end up being bad. He has poured his heart and soul into this. The cast looks fantastic. I'm pretty certain that this is the first movie since Midnight Cowboy that Dustin Hoffman and Jon Voight have been in together, and their performances in Midnight Cowboy are really great, and they really assist each other because of their chemistry together. It's just really great, and I'm really looking forward to see those two in a film together again. You've also got Aubrey Plaza, Adam Driver, the guy who plays Gustavo from Breaking Bad. Sorry, I kind of forgot his name, but yeah, it just looks really cool. Very unique concept. Yeah, I'm really interested. My runner-up spot for this list is the Joker sequel, which I'm not even going to pronounce the title of because I think it's in French. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. No matter what everyone says, I think the sequel is quite necessary. Because the Joker character in the first movie, I don't believe was fully transformed into the Joker that fans expect. So I think there's room for development, and bringing in Harley Quinn will just amplify that character because Harley Quinn has become a key part of the Joker character in recent years, and this will be like the first good Joker to have a Harley Quinn because, we're just going to ignore Jared Leto. He barely had a presence in the DCEU. He's had about 10 minutes of screen time total, so we're just going to ignore that. But the idea of this movie being a musical has really pissed some people off, but I think something like that is exactly what a Joker sequel needs. It needs something wacky and crazy to really fit the character of Joker. And it's going to be used in a comedic sense, which is what I want because the Joker is known for being creepy but also funny. And I feel like the musical element will also amplify the craziness of the character and Harley Quinn because I assume she'll be included in the musical scenes. Uh, Also, just want to mention, no matter how much interest I lose in comic book movies, there'll always be one in the top 5 of my most anticipated list because every year has something interesting to do with that genre. And for this year, it's the Joker sequel. I really liked the first one, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I have a lot of high hopes for this. But in first place, I have Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Now, this movie releases on Christmas Day. That is the same day as the next Jordan Peele film. This could literally be the next Barbenheimer. We could be getting the next Barbenheimer event way sooner than we were expecting. Or maybe not because they're not releasing in the summertime, which is like the most popular time to be at the cinema. And also the movie concepts aren't different enough for it to really draw in that intrigue and bizarre sort of connection. But a guy can dream. I really need the next Barbenheimer event because that shit was exciting. But anyway, let's talk about Nosferatu. In my 2022 movie ranking, I did mention that Robert Eggers is my favourite up-and-coming director, and his new movie comes out this year, so obviously I'm going to be excited for anything he brings out. And it's a new interpretation of Nosferatu. Now, if you don't know, Nosferatu is a 1922 film about a vampire, and it is pretty great. It is really good. I would recommend it if you're into that type of thing. If not, then maybe it won't be your cup of tea. But maybe this new interpretation will be interesting to you because there's 100 years between the original and this one, so they're going to be pretty different, and I can't wait to see Robert Eggers' new take on this story because he is a mastermind when it comes to making horror movies, especially horror movies set in the past. and I assume this movie will be set in the Victorian times. Uh, but yeah, I'm expecting it to be pretty creepy. The cast is looking great. Bill Skarsgård as the vampire, Count Orlok, is a amazing casting. I cannot wait to see this, and that is why this is my most anticipated film of 2024. So anyway, that is my top 10 list. Feel free to leave me your top 10 down in the comments below. I would really be curious to see what my viewers are excited for. Happy New Year, of course. And if you want to see more reviews and rankings from me, then give me a follow on Letterboxd. I'll leave a link in the description below. I know I usually forget to do that, but I'm going to do it this time. So if you want to follow me, the link will be in the description. Anyway, have a nice year and goodbye.